What's up, Instagram?
Those are anatomically correct.
You want some Instagrams?
Look at that.
All right.
Cool. What's up, y'all? Hey, welcome. It's another week. Where are we at? November.
Start over.
Okay.
I wasn't ready.
Okay.
All right, in the count of 3. We can edit that.
All right.
Back in action.
Yo. Hey.
Jackson action. Back in Jackson action.
Jackson action.
Hey,
Cool.
we got some topics to talk about today because that's what we do. A lot of people have questions about, let's think about starting that fitness journey. A lot of big questions around nutrition.
What do I eat?
Yeah, it's not that simple of a question to answer. A lot of different variables go into it.
I'm still learning.
But people ask, what's the best diet to follow? Like there's some simple answer to that.
Yeah, but that's an honest
there's
question.
thousands of fad diets out there, but what is the best diet to follow? How would you address that?
First off, we should probably talk about most diets are going to be geared towards weight loss. Yeah, we'd have to agree on that. So let's establish
Fat loss,
weight loss, fat loss. I would say you got to figure out what the diet truly entails to get an idea of what seems like it'd be the most sustainable. What do you feel like you could actually do over the long haul, the long term, right? For example, keto. Keto just implies pretty much you don't eat any sort of traditional carbohydrates, right?
Correct.
Well, if you were somebody that knew you just couldn't go without your English muffin in the morning, like that was just a deal breaker,
man.
Don't even try keto then.
If you have to have an English muffin in the morning and you have to have it, then there's something to be said for that.
Sure.
But you don't need it.
You don't need it, but some people want it. And some people have already made their minds up that, all right, this is something that I want to have. So, to answer your question, I would say give everything at least a 3 to 4 week trial. If you really are kind of swimming in those waters on wondering what diet is the best and you want to follow some sort of diet like that, like a keto, a Whole30, an Atkins, a South Beach, you got to give it at least 3 to 4 weeks, really buckling down, and then have an honest assessment of, is this something that not just gave me results, because a lot of them will help you lose fat, but is this actually something I could see myself continuing?
How about this? Keep in mind that the more hardcore this diet is, the faster you're going to get results, but the more challenging it's going to be to sustain
that
it.
Hardcore. Some of y'all want that hardcore dieting.
That's true, though.
That's true. So it's got to be sustainable, right? It just does.
Yep. What about counting calories? Do you count calories?
I have counted calories. I think there's something to be said for counting calories.
I've never counted calories. Partly because I just hadn't taken the time to do it. Not that it's a bad idea necessarily, but I just always have focused on eating the kind of foods that I'm allowed to eat, good quality foods, and not caring how many calories are in them necessarily, as long as they're good quality calories.
Well, quality is always number one.
Yeah.
Quality's number one. You could eat the right amount of calories in all Krispy Kreme donuts, but it wouldn't be the best thing for you, right?
Should we talk about ding dongs again?
Ding dongs, right. So if we ate all the ding dongs in the world, but I stayed in my calorie range, probably some undesirable things would start to happen.
Yeah.
What I would tell my clients, and what I have told my clients is, counting your calories has its place, especially periodically, or if you've never done it before, giving it a try for maybe 3 days, because a lot of us are gonna look at that over 3 days of really meticulously tracking them and realize, oh damn, I'm eating way more than I thought.
It just makes you more aware.
Then
there's importance.
Because it's hard to tell somebody to stop eating less or to eat more if we don't even really know, and they don't even really know how many calories they're eating.
Man, we have all our members that want nutritional advice. We say for 2 to 3 days, write everything that you eat down. When you wake up, when you go to bed, everything that you eat. And because it's easy to say, this is what I eat for breakfast every day, but if you really write it down, you're like, man, I really don't eat that. That's what I think that I eat for breakfast, or know I should eat for breakfast, but writing it down, it gives you a good picture of what you're actually doing. It's very eye-opening.
And tracking food and counting calories sucks.
Yeah.
It does. It's not fun. So that's why I don't think it's a long-term sustainable practice. I think that periodic times that you could stop and do it for 1, 2, 3 days, that's kind of like a self-audit.
Self-audit.
Just to see what it is, what am I actually really eating? Because sometimes that
self-audit,
that scoop of peanut butter is actually, holy cow, I'm eating 5 servings of peanut butter. Yeah. And that's where that extra 600, 700 calories.
People ask me what I eat, and I'll tell them what I eat for breakfast, what I eat for lunch, but I don't throw in all the other little, that I eat throughout the day that I don't even think about.
And for some of us, that can be what makes it or breaks it.
It's a difference maker.
How about carbs?
Well,
or should I avoid carbs? I get asked that a lot.
ultimately, let's just cut to the chase. And ultimately, if you want to decrease your fat, and you're eating a lot of carbs, you have to back off of your carbs. Doesn't mean you have to have zero carbs, because there's good carbs and bad carbs.
I mean, you gotta go full keto.
Vegetables, and that's great.
Those are carbs.
Yeah, those are carbs. But to avoid carbs in general, I would just say yes.
The traditional carbs, the dinner rolls,
Yeah.
the sub sandwiches, the spaghettis,
What are your big macronutrients, Matt?
your fats, your proteins, and your carbohydrates.
And when you look at your carbohydrates, they have the least amount of nutritional value.
Sure,
The least
and
amount.
you have to eat protein and you have to eat fats to live. Fitness aside, you can't live without fats and proteins and water.
Yeah.
So out of those four, I guess we could even call it, carbohydrates are that one that we could start reducing, if not eliminate, if you really wanted to.
We're just trying to be nice, because you do need to back off on your carbs.
Keep it real. Keep it real. I know this is one that you're big on. You're big on.
I know, but I might be wrong, man. You bring all this new information.
I think a lot of this is, one, we need to be willing to say this has just worked for me.
Yeah.
So this is why
it's
I
worked
do
for
it.
me and all my clients as far as eating around your workouts.
I was gonna say, next question is what and when should I eat for my workouts? Before my workouts, after my workouts?
Some people
should I be
know-
eating?
Yeah. Well,
Should I
some
not be
people I
eating?
know can't eat a lot before they work out. They'll throw up.
Sure.
I can eat
That makes
a
sense.
Thanksgiving dinner before a workout and not be too bad. Do you get affected by that?
I'd have to eat a lot.
Me too.
My
But
go-to
it
has
doesn't
always
mess with
been
me too much.
like a banana and peanut butter.
Okay.
Like something light that fuels me up.
Something like half hour or so before your workout. I like a little bit of fat just because it's a lot of good calories, slow burning calories, and maybe a little bit of protein. Post workout, that's just so your blood sugar doesn't drop too low during the workout. Post workout, I like a big meal, higher sugar and protein, because we know that sugar creates an insulin response.
Yep.
When you have a high insulin response, it's awesome opportunity for that protein to get shot in your muscles. Good transport system.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what we want. Think of that next time you. And shout out to Leslie out in the lobby.
She will never come on the camera.
We got to get her on here. Leslie, come on.
Maybe one day.
But she made a great point when we were talking about this before the show. Is my mind just went blank. My mind just went
We were
blank.
talking about nutrition. She just had a lot of good.
She had a lot.
points.
She had a lot of good points.
I wasn't there.
She had a lot of good points. But yeah, like eating before bedtime, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
Really
she talked
just-
about breakfast some.
right. Really,
And how important is that?
that's the next one. So that props to Leslie because she helped us out with the next question.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with that.
How important is breakfast? One, I guess it depends on what kind of plan you're on. In general, I think breakfast is super important.
I do too.
And one of the reasons is because if you don't have that breakfast, by the time you eat, that blood sugar is going to be low and you're going to way overeat. That's a big reason.
My take on breakfast is not necessarily on the nutritional science side of it, more on the behavioral side of it. If you can start your day, kind of like why they say make your bed, right? You make your bed because it's one of the first things you do in the day and it sets
Yeah.
the tone for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
If you wake up and more days than not, you have a good, healthy, something you feel good about eating for breakfast, you're way less likely to then eat some bull crap for lunch and start snacking in the afternoon. Because you're just gonna have that mentality of, man, I already had a great all-star breakfast.
That's a very
I'm not
good,
gonna go eat
very
some
good
crap.
point. Whereas if you eat something bad, if you're eating at the McDonald's for
Right.
breakfast, you're probably going to eat some crappy stuff throughout the day.
It's-
But if you make that extra effort to eat really, really nice, healthy, clean breakfast,
That's it.
then health is going to be on your mind throughout the day as
So
well.
just from the behavior side, you feel good about your choice, so you're probably going to make another good choice.
Yeah. I mean, we went through a few different, 5 different quick little talking points. A lot of these points we didn't necessarily answer, but maybe it could start a dialogue and allow it to be something that you guys could dive into a little bit more. And you can always touch base with us with whatever kind of questions you have as well.
Yeah. The big overview is the food that you eat matters.
Right?
You can really probably eat less if you're trying to lose weight, just in general. And
Well, you
carbohydrates
get
can
used
be
to
something that we
operating
can
on
take
it. You
out.
get used to operating on a certain amount of calories, and you feel like your body, your brain feels like you need it. But man, we don't need that many calories to
Listen to your
function.
body's hunger cues. Honestly, are you hungry or do you just want to eat?
You might just be a little thirsty.
A lot of times we just want to eat.
You might be tired.
Hey, I'm not tired. I'm drinking coffee right now.
Yeah, you drinking the coffee.
I'm good to go.
Appreciate
Hey,
y'all.
That's the show for the week.
Appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Give them. Oh, you know what we didn't address? We're gonna have to do next time. Is a good name for our model besides the boutique.
That's right.
Remember that?
We decided we hated the term boutique.
Man,
gym.
it's just such a
That sounds so
pansy.
sissy.
It sounds so pansy.
For what we got, I mean, we've got
Like our
clients and
model.
trainers on the other side of this camera busting ass right now.
They're not pansy.
It doesn't feel like a
Look
boutique.
at Carter over there. It's just a
boutique in
opponent,
here.
man. Get it, boy. Anyway, hey, we'll see y'all soon. Come up with some new ideas for us. We don't want to be called a boutique fitness facility anymore.
Get
Something
out of here with
cooler.
that. Get out of here with that.
Something less pansy.
We're out of here.
All right, peace.
Later.